So confirm if you're able to see my screen. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Good. So before we start the topics of today, let me know if there is any doubt from the previous class, like any doubt from the previous topics that we have already discussed. So from your silence, I understand that everybody is clear with the previous topics, right? So I hope everybody is clear, right? That's what I understand. Next. Okay. So the next topic of discussion is going to be resistance of a system of resistor. So last class, I introduced a term called as resistance. So where did we see the term resistance from? It came from the concept of Ohm's law. I hope you guys remember this. So what does Ohm's law state, guys? Durlabh, can you state?
Sir, the current flowing through any current carrying conductor is directly proportional to the amount of potential difference.
Yes, but you forgot one important point. I stressed on one important point when I explained this concept.
Sir, at constant temperature.
Yes. Had there not been constant temperature, what would have happened?
Sir, it would have varied.
The resistance would have changed. Then you cannot introduce R as a constant of proportionality. You're using it as constant, no? So if something has to be constant, the physical parameters are said to be kept constant. That is the meaning. V is equal to IR, right? So from this we saw what is resistance. So what is resistance? It is the Sanyu. What is resistance? Sanyu. Vaishnavi, can you say what is resistance? Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you tell me what is resistance?
So
you can tell it in your own words. I don't want a book definition. Make it fast.
Sir, it is the property of a conductor to resist the flow of charges, sir.
Okay, so what does it mean? So is it available even for conductors or is it applicable only for insulator? You're saying it is going to oppose the flow of charges, no? So is it property for a conductor or for an insulator?
Conductor, sir.
Yes, because in this chapter, our discussion is all about electricity, and electricity is possible only through conductors, right? So R is equal to, we saw another formula, it is rho into L divided by A. So what are all the parameters on which it depends on? It depends on the length and the area of cross section. Now, having all these basics in mind, we know that if you talk about a device, a resistor is a device. Okay, a resistance is a property. Right? So if you talk about the property called as resistance for a device called as resistor, then what is going to happen, right? Then what is going to happen if you have a system of them? What do you mean by system of them? That is, see, till now whatever we discussed was applicable only for one resistor, but it is not necessary. If you observe in real time, no, it is not necessary that there will be only one resistor present in an electrical system, right? So there might be multiple resistors. For example, if you take the normal bulb you have at your home, the tungsten bulbs. Nowadays, LEDs have come. Previously, there used to be tungsten bulbs, right? Now what will happen is this tungsten wire will have some resistance. What if I have two bulbs in my hand and connect those two bulbs in a form of connection called as series and parallel? Then this combination becomes a system. Are you guys able to understand what a system means? System is when you have more than one resistor in your hand, how are you going to connect them? You can connect them in two manners. What are they? One is either series or parallel. And the third manner is a combination of them. That is, you can connect them, you can connect few of them in series and few of them in parallel. And now our topic of discussion is going to be what is the series and parallel connection. Okay, so this is the introduction to this chapter, to this topic. Okay. So in the preceding sections, we learned about some simple electric circuits. We have noticed that how current through a conductor depends upon its resistance and the potential difference across its ends from the concept of Ohm's law. So in various electrical gadgets, I'm talking about electrical gadgets. Okay. So what can happen is we often use resistors in various combinations. This combination is what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. We now therefore intend to see Ohm's law can be applied, how Ohm's law can be applied to combination of resistors. That's what we are going to discuss. Okay, there are basically, when I say combination of resistors, if I have to draw a classification chart, they're basically classified into two types. There are two methods of joining the resistor together. What are they? One is called as series connection and the other is called as parallel connection. The one which is not given in your book is called as mixed connection, which is not there in your syllabus. Okay? It is not there, but I will explain few problems for you to have a better understanding, for having better grip on series and parallel. So first we are going to start with series connection. Let's understand what exactly series connection means. As of now, first look at it diagrammatically, then we will have a look at what is the concept involved behind it. Okay. See. There are three resistors of value R1, R2, and R3. They have the resistances R1, R2, and R3. Now, if you see how, if I put a question like how this R1, R2, and R3 are connected among themselves, then I will call it as series. By looking at the diagram, I'm able to say they are in series because they are in one particular order. Right? They are in a particular line. I'll call it as series. Similarly, if the same three resistors are connected like this, then I'll call it as a parallel connection. Correct? Because I'm able to see that the resistors seem to be parallel to each other. I'm using the basic geometry. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. But if I put a question like this, will this condition satisfy for you to say whether it is series or parallel? The answer is no. Okay. Because you can classify them as series or parallel connection depending on certain differentiating factors. What are those differentiating factors is what we are going to see. Okay. Now, I want everybody to make a note. Resistors in series. Resistors in series. Write it down. So resistors are said to be connected in series. Resistors are said to be connected in series. Put a colon. Or like this. Resistors are said to be connected in series if, put a colon. First, the current flowing through each resistor is the same.
Sir, can you repeat once more?
Yeah. Resistors are said to be connected in series if, colon. The first point is current flowing through each resistor is same. Current flowing through each resistor is same. Meaning, in the bracket, you write current is undivided. Okay, for the first point, current flowing through each resistor is the same. In the bracket, you will write it as current is undivided. And the second point is the potential difference across each resistor will vary. The potential difference across each resistor will vary in such a way, potential difference across each resistor will vary in such a way that the sum of the potential drops, I'm sorry, I'm correcting it, such that the sum of the potential differences across each resistor is equal to the total potential difference supplied by the battery.
Sir, can you repeat the last line again, sir?
Such that the sum of the potential differences is equal to the potential difference across the battery. Okay, so what this actually means is,
Sir, in the first one, you told current is undivided. What does that mean, sir?
but potential is divided.
Okay, sir. Sir, it means that like it's different or what, sir?
Yes, I will tell you. I'll explain it to you. I'll explain both the statements with this diagram. Sorry. Listen. So this is the diagram for resistors in series. Okay. So if I take three resistors, that is three conductors, and connect them like this, between 2 points X and Y, and I have a battery whose potential difference is V. Okay, let's say I have a 5-volt battery in my hand. This 5-volt battery is connected across how many resistors? 3 resistors, R1, R2, and R3. So what will this 5-volt battery do? It will start supplying current of how much value? Let's say the current supplied by it is I. Okay. Now, if I ignore this voltmeter, okay, assume that this is not there. If I ignore this voltmeter, right, then I can say there will be a potential difference across the first resistor. Let me call it as V1. And there will be a potential difference across the second resistor. I'll call it as V2. Across the third resistor, I will call it as V3. So what did I say is the statement? What did I give as a statement for resistors in series? These three resistors can be said to be connected in series if the current across each resistor is the same. Means if the total current supplied by the battery is I, listen to it carefully. The total current supplied by the battery is I, then the same amount of current will flow through, the same amount of current I will flow through R1, R2, and R3. That is the meaning. Guys, did you understand? It is then I can say that they are connected in series. So make a note. Current supplied by battery is how much? I. Okay. Current through each resistor is how much? That is also I. Okay. Let potential difference across R1, R2, and R3, R1, R2, and R3 be equal to V1, V2, and V3 respectively. Okay, I hope this point is clear, right? Now comes an important question. What did I say about the potential differences? So the potential difference across each resistor is different, such that what is the relation between V1, V2, and V3 with V? The sum of the potential differences across each resistor is equal to, what did I say? It's equal to the total potential difference supplied by the battery. Is it not equal to V?
Sir, can you repeat again, sir?
I'm saying the potential difference across first, second, and third resistor are V1, V2, and V3. Then V1 plus V2 plus V3 will be equal to the total potential difference supplied by the battery. So what I'm trying to say here is, suppose you're using a 5-volt battery here. You cannot find the same 5-volt across R1, R2, and R3. Okay. Here it might be 1 volt. Here it will be 2 volt. Then how much will be the value across V3? It will be 2 volt. Means it will get divided. It need not be 1, 2, and 2. It can be 1, 2.5. Then how much will be the value there? It will be 1.5. So the division among themselves will take place in such a way that if you add all these potential differences, that should be equal to 5 volt. So that's what happens in series connection.
Sir, understood.
Good? Yeah. So V1 plus V2 plus V3 is equal to V. Okay. Now we are going to apply Ohm's law across R1, R2, and R3. Remember, make a note of this point. No, make a note. Ohm's law can be applied. Ohm's law can be applied only when there is one source, that is one battery. Only when there is one battery and one resistor. Okay, Ohm's law can be applied only when you have one battery and one resistor. Okay. So what does Ohm's law state? The potential difference across the resistor is equal to current flowing through that resistor multiplied with its resistance. So V is equal to IR. No? So this V stands for the potential difference across the resistor. I stands for the current flowing through the resistor. R stands for the resistance of that resistor. Okay. If that is the case, V1 will be equal to how much? V1 is the potential difference across the first resistor. So V1 will be equal to how much? What is the current through R1? Is it not I? That's what the definition says. So V1 is equal to I into R1. Guys, any doubt in this? Similarly, V2 will be equal to, what is it?
Sir, I into R2.
Very good. I into R2, because the current through the second resistor is also I only. V3 is how much? I into R3. Let me call this as second equation. Okay. So if you're clear till here, please make a note of it. Make a note of all these points. Done.
Sir.
Okay. Now comes another question. See, now what I'm trying to say is, listen. See, in this question, if I treat it as a problem, in this problem I have R1, R2, and R3. So if suppose I have 10 resistors in my hand and all those 10 resistors are connected, now I can always think of one fact. So when is it easy for you? When is it easy for you to design a circuit? You tell me. Which one is easy for you to operate? Is it like having 10 resistors in series, or replace those 10 resistors with one resistor, which will do the same work done by the combination? Which one is easy for you to connect or design, whatever it is? So what I'm trying to ask,
using one resistor, sir.
it's better to always use one resistor, but what should that one resistor do? It should be able to do the same work done by all those 10 resistors put together. You're able to understand? See, for example, if you want to understand, let's say you're sitting in a room. Okay. This is your study table. You're sitting here. You're trying to study. Okay. So for you to study, you need some lighting. Right. This is only an example. Okay. So for this lighting, what I can do is, if I want, let's say your room is big enough and you need more amount of light. So I'll have one light here, one light here, one light here. Okay. So I'll switch on this light alone. Will the lighting be sufficient? I'll switch one light alone. Obviously, no. So what I will do is I'll switch on the second one also. Still, I feel it is not sufficient. Then I'll switch on the third one. Okay. Now I feel it is comfortable. But for you to have that one particular operation, what you need to do is you need to use 3 lights. Instead of using these 3 lights, what is the best light we can think of? For the same amount of room, I can find out how much lighting is needed, and I will replace all these 3 lights with one particular light, which will provide the same amount of lighting. Okay, I'll place it in the correct location where it is able to spread the light evenly. Right? Then this light is what is called as the effective light. So the one which is replacing the system of 3 other lights is what is called as effective light, or more technically, we call it as equivalent light. Are you able to understand? In a similar context, imagine these resistors like light. Okay. So in the same context, what I'm going to do is, I will replace all these resistors. Okay. With one particular resistor, which will do the same work done by this combination. Then this resistor is what is called as effective resistor or equivalent resistor. Okay. Since everything is connected in series, I will call this as RS. Guys, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. But here one important point to be noted is, if the potential difference supplied by the battery across this combination is R1, R2, and R3, the potential difference across the replaced resistor is also V only. Then what will be the current supplied by the battery? It will be the same I. Right? Now, one resistor, one potential difference. Can you apply Ohm's law across this? V will be equal to I into RS. This is going to be the fourth equation. Please make a note of it. This is very, very important.
Sir, RS is...
RS means equivalent resistance. Okay, equivalent resistor is the device. OR is device. ANCE is the property. So RS is equivalent resistance of series. So S stands for series. Equivalent resistance of series. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, I will use, oh, that's not fourth one. Sorry, it is third one, guys. That is the third equation. So, using 2 and 3 in 1 will give me what? In the place of B1, I will write I into R1. So, I into R1 plus I into R2 plus I into R3 should be equal to I into
RS.
What is that? Yes. So what is common on the left hand side? So I is common. R1 plus R2 plus R3 will be equal to I into Rs. I and I will get cancelled. Rs will be equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is the equivalent resistance of resistors connected in series. Okay. Now I am extending this concept. If n resistors are connected in series, then what will happen? Rs will be equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus so on till Rn. So what will happen in a series combination is the equivalent resistance will be equal to sum of the individual resistances. The meaning of this is, if I have a 1 ohm resistor, if I have a 3 ohm resistor, if I have a 4 ohm resistor, and I need to replace them with one particular resistor to do the same work, then what should be the value of it? Then I can always replace them with a resistor whose value is 4 plus 3 plus 1, which is 8 ohm. So what I'm trying to say is this circuit and this circuit will behave exactly in the same way. I hope you're able to visualize it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Next. So if you're done with this, I'll move on.
You can just wait for a minute. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, make it.
Sir, noted, sir.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now write down the next setting, that is resistors in parallel. Okay. So write down the heading as resistors in parallel. So resistors are said to be connected in parallel. Make a note of this. If the potential difference across all the resistors is the same, and so make a note of this, resistors are said to be connected in parallel. If the potential difference across all the resistors is the same, and current across each resistor will be different, current across each resistor will be different, and the total current supplied by the battery will be equal to the sum of the current across each resistor. Okay. Guys, understood? Now listen. Now comes an important point. So this point is X and this point is Y, right? So let's say the total potential difference across the battery is V. Okay. Now, last class I explained you one important point. You remember when you go to a shop and buy a battery, no? The battery will have a positive terminal and it will have a positive and a negative terminal, right? So if I say it's a 5-volt battery, If the positive terminal is having a potential of 5 volt, then how much will be the value of the negative terminal, potential of the negative terminal? It will be 0 volt, such that potential of this minus potential of this put together is 5 volt. Right? Similarly, had the potential here been 4 volt, what would have been the potential of the negative terminal?
1 volt.
It will be minus 1 volt. Because that it is then the potential difference. 4 minus of minus 1 will be equal to 5 volt. That is the potential of the battery. You're able to understand? So each point will have a same potential. So if I take the ends of these two terminals as A and B, then if I call the potential of point A as VA and the potential of point B as VB, then VA minus VB is what is V. So try to understand this point, okay? That is the potential of point A minus potential of point B is what is B. It is the 5 volt battery. Okay. So what is the definition of this resistors in parallel is telling us is, if I have a 5 volt battery connected across a set of resistors R1, R2 and R3 in a so-called connection, in a so-called parallel connection, then the potential difference across R1 is also 5 volt. The potential difference across R2 is also 5 volt and across R3 is also 5 volt. Are you able to understand that point? That is the meaning of potential difference across all the resistors. So what is that you didn't understand?
Sir, potential difference across all the resistors is same. That one. Sir.
Yes. Means, see, if this point is A and this point is B, VA minus this one, I hope you understood. This is positive terminal.
Yes, sir, I understood that. Sir.
This is negative terminal. So positive terminal will have a potential and negative terminal will have another potential. Right? VA minus VB is 5 volt. Okay. Now, if this 5 volt is supplied by the battery, how much is the potential difference that is going to appear across R1 is the question. How much will be the potential difference across R1? It will be
5.
It will be the same 5 volt. But what happened in series connection? Was it 5 volt?
No, sir. It was different.
It was something like 1, 2, 2.5, 1.2, something like that. No. But here, how many other resistors you are going to connect in parallel? Whenever you say parallel connection, by default, what is going to happen? The potential difference across every resistor will be the same. Yes, each resistor will experience the same amount of potential difference. That is what I'm trying to say. So here also it is 5 volt, here also it is 5 volt, and here also it is 5 volt. Like this, if I connect 10 more resistors in parallel, all those resistors or remaining 7 resistors will also have the same potential difference. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is this point registered? Yes. Second point is, what will happen to the current? So what is going to happen to the current? If the 5 volt battery is supplying, let's say a current of a total value of current as I, then this current I will flow towards the point X. Correct, Ada? So it will flow towards the point X. X.
Oh, okay.
X.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it will flow towards the point X. Then what will happen is, at this X, no, this current I will start getting divided. Like in the case of series, how the potential got divided as 1, 2.5, 1.5. Here the current will start getting divided. Let's say the current that is getting divided across R1 is I1, and the current getting divided across R2 is I2, and the current dividing across R3 is I3. Are you able to understand this? This I1, I2, and I3 will be in such a way that what is the statement saying? Current across each resistor will be different, and the total current supplied by the battery will be equal to how much? Sum of the current across each resistor. What is the meaning of that? Huh?
So if sum of current in all the resistor will be equal, like if we add it, we will get the same, like the current which was before X.
So what they are saying is I will be equal to I1, or I can put it in the reverse way. I1 plus I2 plus I3 will be equal to the total current supplied by the battery. A very, very, very important point to be noted. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. I1 plus I2 plus I3 is going to be I. So let me call this as first equation. Now, how am I supposed to draw the equivalent circuit for it? What do you mean by equivalent circuit? How many resistors do I have on the left side circuit? I have 3 resistors and they are connected in parallel. So when will it become an equivalent circuit? I can replace all those resistors in parallel with one resistor and connect it across the same potential difference. It is then I can call this resistance as R, but I will call it as RP. P stands for parallel. So how do I write this RP? How do I name this as? It is the equivalent resistance or effective resistance. In your textbook, they use the word equivalent. Okay, effective is also an accepted term. Suppose in your question paper, they ask you what is the effective resistance, don't get confused. Effective and equivalent mean the same. Okay. You're connecting it across the same battery V, so it is going to supply the same amount of current I. So total current supplied is I here. The current supplied by the battery across RP is also same I. You're able to understand, guys? Now comes an important question. So potential difference across R1, R2, and R3 is how much? Potential difference across R1, R2, and R3 is going to be the same V. The example in this case is 5 volt. Right? R1, R2, and R3 will be V. Okay. Applying Ohm's law across R1, R2, and R3 will give us what? V is equal to, or V1 is equal to I1 into R1. There is a mistake in this equation corrected.
Sir, it should be V, sir.
It should only be V.
Only one, yes, sir.
So V is equal to I1 into R1. Similarly, V will be equal to I2 into R2 and V will be equal to I3 into R3. Right? So for us to apply in the formula 1, what do we need? We need I1. So I1 will be equal to V divided by R1, I2 will be equal to V divided by R2, and I3 will be equal to V divided by R3. Correct? Now, what is going to be the value of I? I will call this as 2. Then what will be the value of Ohm's law here? V will be equal to I into RP, which implies I will be equal to V divided by RP. Can I call this as 3? Am I clear, students? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what are we supposed to do? Take 2 and 3 and use it in 1. So I1 is equal to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3 will be equal to how much? V divided by RP. So cancel V. So what will happen? 1 divided by RP will be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So what is the formula for equivalent resistance in parallel? It is like this. The reciprocal of equivalent resistance is equal to sum of the reciprocals of individual resistances. Okay. So what happened in series? RS was equal to R1 plus R2 plus RP. Whereas here, you cannot directly have a formula for RP. Rather, you will have a formula for 1 by RP. Guys, am I clear?
Yes, sir.
If if n resistors are connected in parallel, then what will happen? 1 by Rp will be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus so on plus 1 divided by Rn. This is going to be the formula for finding the equivalent resistance. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So if you guys have made a note of it, I will do 2 sample problems and explain how it works.
Sir, can you scroll up for a minute, sir?
Sure. Till where?
Sir, the third equation.
Third equation, yeah. This is the one, third equation.
Yes, sir. Now you can scroll down, sir.
Right. So this is how you find the equivalent resistance in series and parallel. Okay. So keeping all these points in mind, let's try to solve this problem. So there is an electric lamp whose resistance is 20 ohm. So there is an electric lamp whose resistance is 20 ohm. And there is a conductor of resistance 4 ohm. And these two devices put together are connected across a 6-volt battery. Calculate the total resistance in the circuit. Okay. Now first, whenever they say find the total resistance, our first job is to find out whether the connection is series or parallel. In this case, is it series or parallel?
It's in series.
Series.
They are in series, right? Because the current is not getting divided. Current is undivided. So you should always look at it like this. If the current is I, the same amount of current is flowing through this and through this. It's not getting broken. So it will get broken only if it hits a junction. I hope you understand what a junction is. So this is what a junction is. From the junction, if there is a division taking place in wire, then they are said to be in parallel. Okay. So Rs is how much? R1 plus R2. So R1 is 4 plus 20. What is the answer? It is 24 ohm. So the total resistance of the circuit is 24 ohm. What is the current through the circuit? So how to find the current is, if you draw the equivalent circuit for it, then how should I label them? What should I write across the battery? How many volt battery is it?
6 volt.
6 volt.
6 volt. How much is this resistance?
24. So
Very good. It is 24 ohm. It is 24 ohm. And the current supplied by the battery is I. So the current supplied by the 6-volt battery across a 24 ohm resistor is I. So how do I find the current across it? We apply V is equal to I into Rs. So V is how much? 6 is equal to I is how much? I is what we need to find. No? Rs is 24. So I will be equal to 6 divided by 24 or 1 by 4, which is 0.25 ampere. So the current flowing through it is 0.25 ampere. Okay, I hope you will go through these steps on how you are supposed to write an exam. I'm concentrating only on topics since it is slightly tough. So go through all these. You should always write the given points. You should always give an explanation. Whatever I told in words, you should put it in the. So whatever I told you, you should put it in the words in the paper. Okay. Now comes another important question. The current through the circuit also we found. The potential difference across the electric lamp and the conductor. So this is what we need to find. So if I call the potential drop across the resistor as V1, then here the potential drop across the 20 ohm resistor will be V2, such that V1 plus V2 should be how much? V1 plus V2 should be how much? It should be 6 volts. That is a total current, total potential difference supplied by the battery. So for V1, can I apply the Ohm's law across that resistor? So V1, I can write it as I into R1. What is the value of I? The current flowing through the circuit is 0.25 ampere. So can I write it as 0.25 multiplied with, what is the value of R1? Is it not 4? So V1 will be 1 volt. How much will V2 be then? According to logic,
5 volts.
V2 should be 5 volt. See, this 5 volt can be found using 2 ways. That is by using this as a formula, or V2 is equal to current across the second resistor into R2. What is the current across second resistor? That is 1/4 into the resistance is 20. Right? I hope you understood. There are 2 ways to find. So if you find using Ohm's law, you can verify using the sum. If you found using the sum, you can verify using Ohm's law. Both methods will work. They should work rather. Okay. So I hope everybody made a note of this. Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So draw a schematic diagram of a circuit consisting of a battery and 3 cells of 2 volt each. 1 minute. Let me do one thing. Let me copy this. So draw a schematic diagram of circuit consisting of a battery of 3 cells of 2 volt each, a 5 ohm resistor, 8 ohm resistor, and 12 ohm resistor, and a plug key, all connected in series. So how many resistors are there? 3. 5 ohm, 8 ohm, and 12 ohm. So 5 ohm, 8 ohm, and 12 ohm. They are connected across whom? They are connected across a battery which consists of 3 cells. So one cell consists of 2 volt, other cell consists of 2 volt, and the other cell consists of another 2 volt. So what is the total potential difference of the battery? So I'll give you 2 options. Tell me, no? Is it 2 volt or 6 volt?
6 volt.
It is 6 volt because yes, it is 6 volt because there are 3 cells of 2 volts connected in series, connected across each other. Okay. Then they want a plug key. All are connected in series. So this is the required diagram. So here you should write it as 6 volt. Right. I hope you guys made a note of it. Second, redraw the circuit in question number 1, putting an ammeter to measure the current through the resistors and the voltmeter to measure the potential difference across the 12 ohm resistor. What would be the readings in the ammeter and voltmeter? They're asking us to calculate also. So the change I need to do here is I'll be connecting an ammeter, okay, and a voltmeter. Why did they connect it only across 12 ohm? Because that's what they asked. They wanted a voltmeter to be present only across 12 ohm. Right? Now, they're asking what would be the readings of all these values. Okay. So I'm going to take care of the ammeter reading. So let's say the current supplied by the battery is I. Right? So what is the first thing, whenever you need to apply Ohm's law, what did I say? For you to apply Ohm's law, you should have only, I gave you an important note, go through and see, what is the important note I gave you? If you have to apply Ohm's law, it is applicable only across one resistor.
One resistor.
One resistor.
Yeah. But this question has how many resistors?
Three.
No? So it is my job to convert all those three resistors into one resistor. So indirectly, I'm saying you should always find the equivalent value. So what is going to be the equivalent value? Rs will be equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. How much is it? It will be 25 ohms. It will be 25. Now, can I apply Ohm's law for this circuit? Yes, I can. So applying Ohm's law, I get V is equal to IR. V is how much? 6 volt. Current is I and R is 25. So I will be equal to 6 divided by 25 ampere. Don't be in a hurry to convert it to fraction decimals. You can leave it in fraction also, no harm in it. It is 6 divided by 25 ampere. So this is going to be the reading across the ammeter. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what is going to be the reading across the voltmeter? Where is the voltmeter connected? It is connected across the 12 ohm resistor.
The reading
So,
across ammeter will be 6 by 25, sir.
Yeah, 6 by 25 ampere.
Okay.
Okay, here it is 12 ohm. What is the current flowing through this 12 ohm resistor?
6 by 25, sir.
It is same 6 by 25 because it is in series. So for voltmeter reading, applying a Ohm's law again, V is equal to I into R. V is how much? That's what we need to find. Current is 6 by 25 into, what is the value of R? Is it not 12?
12.
It is 12 ohm. Right? So 12 and 25 will go 2 times. Answer should be approximately 3 point something. Or should be 2.99 something. Right? So I'm doing an approximate guess. Had it been 24, then the answer would have been 3. Since the denominator is more, the value will be less than that. So it will be less than 3, it will be 2.9 something. Okay, that part I'm leaving it to you. Those many volts is the answer.
The
Never
2.88.
2.88. Approximately 2.9 also. So 2.9 volt should be the answer. So if you are interested, you can calculate the potential difference across the other two also. But once you get the answer, what is the verification you need to do? See, for example, the potential difference across the 5 ohm resistor is 6 by 25 into 5. Across 8 ohm is 6 by 25 into 8. V is equal to IR. So 6 by 25 into 5 plus 6 by 25 into 8 plus 6 by 25 into 12, all put together should give you how much value? Should give you 6 volt. It is then your answer is right. Okay. Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is all about series connection. Now we'll do one problem based on parallel. With that, we can wind up the session. So in the circuit diagram given in figure 12.10, this is the one. Okay, 12.10. Suppose the resistor R1, R2, and R3 have values of 5, 10, and 30 respectively, which have been connected across a battery of 12 volt. Calculate the current through each resistor. Calculate the current through each resistor. It's easy, no? So 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 5, 10, 30. They're connected across a battery of how much value? 12 volt. So what is going to be the value of I1 here? I2 and I3. So I1 will be equal to V divided by R1. I hope you understood how, because it is one of the steps of derivation. So I1 is equal to, what is the potential difference across the 5 ohm resistor?
So 12.
Perfect. It is 12 divided by the resistance is 5. So it is 2.4 ampere. Similarly, what is the value of I2? It is 12 divided by 10. It is 1.2 ampere. What is the value of I3? Same 12 divided by 30. So it's 12 divided by 30 should be 1 divided by 2.5. So if I cancel this, it will be 0.4 ampere. Okay. So current is 2.4, 1.2 and 0.4. Now the next question is total current in the circuit. So what will be the current supplied by the battery? I will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. What is the value of I1? 2.4 plus 1.2 plus 0.4. So 2.4 plus 0.4 is 2.8 plus 1.2 is 4 ampere. It is 4 ampere. Now, the total circuit resistance, they are connected in parallel. So how you calculate the resistance in parallel? 1 by Rp will be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So 1 by Rp will be equal to 1 by 5 plus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 30. Calculate and tell me what is the value of 1 by Rp. So 30 is the LCM. This will become 6 by 30. This will become 3 by 30. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. 10 divided by 30 or 1 by 3. So 1 by Rp is 1 by 3 and Rp is how much? 3 ohm. So most common mistake. Once they get the value of 1 by Rp as 1 by 3, most of the students write the answer as 1 by 3 ohm and leave it. No, you should always take the reciprocal. Don't forget that, okay? It is a very, very, very common mistake. So it is 3 ohm. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll do one more problem. Shall I erase this? Now see. In the figure 12.12, R1 is 10 ohm, R2 is 40 ohm, R3 is 30 ohm, R4 is 20 ohm, and R5 is 60 ohm. Calculate the total resistance in the circuit and calculate the total current flowing in the circuit. Okay. So unlike the previous problem, here it is not only parallel connection, it is parallel and series. So how I'm saying this, R1 and R2 are connected across among themselves in
Series.
R1 and R2.
Parallel, sir.
They are parallel. How to find their parallel is because if the current supplied by the battery is high, you are able to see a junction here, that point where the division of resistors is taking place. At this point, the current will get divided I1 and I2. If there is a division of current taking place itself, it means they are in parallel. Okay. So let me do one thing. Ten, 40, 30, 20, 60. 10, 40, 30, 20, 60. Correct? 10, 40, 30, 20, 60. Now see, current is getting divided at this junction. So they both are in parallel. So R1 and R2 are in parallel. So 1 divided by Rp will be equal to how much? 1 divided by R1 plus 1 divided by R2. That is 1 by 10 plus 1 by 40. So how much is it going to be? 4 by 40. That is 5 divided by 40 or 1 by 8. So what is the value of Rp? Rp will be
8, sir.
8 ohm. Okay. Similarly, R3, R4 and R5 are in parallel. I'll call it as 1 by Rp dash is equal to 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4 plus 1 by R5. So how much is it? 1 by 30. 1 by 30 plus 1 by 20 plus 1 by 60. So LCM is 60. 2 by 30 plus 3 by 60 plus 1 by 60. So it will be 60 divided by 60 or 1 by 10. This is 1 by Rp dash. So what is the value of Rp dash? That is 10 ohm. I hope it is clear till this step. So it is 10 ohm. Now if I redraw the circuit, what I mean by redrawing is, if I redraw the circuit with the equivalent resistances, how much is the battery value, guys? This will be Rp. And here it will be Rp dash. The battery value is how much?
12 volts. Sir.
12 volt. So it is like 12 volt. Okay. Now the current supplied by the battery is I. Now how is Rp and Rp dash connected?
Now they are in series.
Now they are in series. I hope you are able to understand, because the current here is I. The same current I will flow through Rp dash also, because there is no junction which is breaking it. I hope you understood what is a junction, right? Here, though there is a dot, it is not a junction because the current is in a flow. If suppose there was something like this, then this will become a junction. One resistor here, one resistor here. Then division will take place. Else, it will not take place. Okay. So R equivalent will be equal to Rp plus Rp dash, because since Rp and Rp dash are in series. So R equivalent will be how much? 8 ohm plus 10 ohm.
18 ohm.
18 ohm. So this whole circuit will behave like as if there is a 12 volt battery connected across an 18 ohm resistor. And let's say the current is I. What are they asking? The total resistance in the circuit is 18 ohm. Okay. Total current flowing in the circuit. Now you can do it. V is equal to IR. V is how much? 12 is equal to I into 18. I will be 12 divided by 18 or 2 divided by 3, which is 0.67 ampere. Clear, guys? So this is how you need to solve the this is how you need to solve problems based on series and parallel. Okay. So this is the most important topic in this chapter. After this, we have only one subtopic. By next class, this chapter will be over. So the point to be noted here is I'll be giving an assignment. I'll be giving you an assignment which you can start doing. If suppose in the assignment you have the concepts which I have not yet taught, those parts alone you can hold it. The remaining things you have to start solving. Okay, same is the case with all of the subjects also. Math also, there is an assignment that has been uploaded. I think 1.3 is going on, right? In your class, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
So that is going on, no? So 1.4 is also asked. The recurring and non-recurring decimals is being asked. That point alone, you can leave it. Remaining points, the remaining questions, you try to complete it by tomorrow and upload it. Okay, so going forward, that is going to be the procedure. Once I upload the assignment, whichever has been completed.
We have to upload the assignment, sir.
Yes, you have to.
Sir, in the app itself?
Yes, if you're not sure of how to do it, I've already sent a YouTube video. Go through it.
Okay.
So there is a YouTube video on how to use the app. And second most important point I wanted to discuss is after every class, no, there is a tab called as attendance. Now your attendance for this class would have been taken. So enter the feedback there. And if you have any doubts, enter it there. So ensure you enter the feedback for every class so that we'll have a monitor. We can work on it. The reason we're asking for feedback is if suppose some topic we get less feedback, no, we'll understand that the topic is not clear. So we'll try to repeat it again. So ensure you enter the feedback after every class. It's just going to take you less than a minute. Okay. So start working.
Yes, sir.
If there is any doubt, please open.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So see you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.